Hey, welcome to our Thursday Zoom meeting, week 12. Sorry about Tuesday. I was subbing for the Success Center director, and so I could not go online to host that Tuesday meeting. But here we are. Let's look at your pre-writing and outlining materials for the critical essay. And I'm shown here for right here. So let's see. Yes. Okay, the first draft, you finished it? Okay. Wow. Wow. This is very impressive. I'm going to have to ask for your opinion. I'm sorry, for your permission to use your materials as exemplars. Actually, I have time right now, so I can look with you. It's better to look at it together. So did you post it on the week 12 discussions forum? Okay. Oh, no, nobody has posted here yet. No problem. Just take your time. So your outline looks really solid. So I'm pretty confident that your draft is going to be equally effective and good and high quality and academic and all that. But I would just like to check your integration of quotes. So if I have access to it, I can take a look at it. Okay, here it is. So let me go there. First up, I could tell you that each important word in your title should be capitalized. Like the word cost would be capitalized, the C, right? Healthcare is capitalized, will is, B is reduced. So always for MLA, always capitalize the important words in your title. For the date though, I would not have the 24th. So usually you do it like this, 24th May 2018, like that, and that's fine. Okay. But if you're gonna have the comma there, you don't need the th at the end of 4. Okay, so that's another feedback. It's very minor, but I thought you should know that. Now, if you could find a way to make this sentence parallel, using parallel structure, it would become an even better hook. So you can try out the parallel structure of not only, but also. Okay. So not only is healthcare one of the biggest concerns of the American public over decades, comma, but also a hot topic on public and political discussions because healthcare healthcare doesn't relate. Healthcare is a topic that people can relate to, since we are dealing with since we live and are living in a particular country based on its measurements. So the syntax of this sentence is a little bit off, so I would try to rephrase it. Okay? Everybody does not matter. Okay, it doesn't matter whether. Okay, so how do I phrase it? Hold on, let me try to help you out. So this is syntax again. wants to live in a country that has the best healthcare system. It doesn't matter where one lives, or it does not matter whether one is rich or poor. One can always live in a country that has the best healthcare system. Okay? So maybe do it like that would help you out with the syntactic problem there. Healthcare will guarantee the quality of treatment not only for himself, but also for herself. Okay, that's good. So you're using not only but also here parallel structure. That's good. Okay. Now here, you put the comma inside the quotation mark like this. Always do that. Commas and periods go inside the quotation mark, like you've done here for healthcare, which is good. Okay. So that's something that I would also like to point out to people is put in the commas and the periods inside the quotation mark, the last quotation mark. Wow, you're trying to incorporate a lot of good stuff in, very condensed, very layered, which is good. Which is good. It's correct the way that that you quoted. But you see here, you've already mentioned Deborah et al., but this is a different paragraph, so that's okay. So if it's in the same paragraph, you don't have to repeat Deborah et al. Again. You just include the page number. This one is okay. This one is good. Now this one, you don't have to say this again. You just include the page number there. Are you following?
Yeah.
Okay. So just, you don't have to do that. It's repetitive. Now I haven't read this carefully enough, but I'm just glancing at this. Okay. So you're doing. So here you did it well. Okay. You did it good. Let's see. Understanding. Okay. Let me give you some feedback on this. Take this word out. Let's call it works cited. You don't need that word there. And your works cited page looks off. There should be no space in each of these sources. So you have to also double space them. So you have to select them all and double space it. Okay. So this is what I would do. Let me see here if I could copy. Let's see if I could do this for you. The works cited page is very important for the critical essay, that you have to get it right. Major points are allocated for the works cited page for this assignment. Give me a second here. So yeah, like this. I would do it like this, center. And don't need it there. Don't need it there. None of that. Extra spaces. It's necessary. And then I would, double space the whole thing. Yeah, we can. Look. This is how you do it. So you select this whole thing. And then you go to the arrow here and you drag it to the right. Then you drag the upper arrow to the left. Okay. But it doesn't work because the I had to copy and paste, and I didn't clear the formatting. So yeah, it works. See, that's how you do it. Want me to show you? Show it to you. You want me to show you again? Be careful with italics. Okay. italics. When I copy and paste over, the quote part is there was some problem with that. Okay. So now you know, okay? So that's how you do it. I'm not gonna save this. I'm gonna delete it. But I want to show this on the video so that people, when they watch it, they know how to do it. So that's how you do hanging indentation in Google Drive. But you know, your essay is so good already. You just need to look for some of the minor errors like syntax and grammar and punctuation and capitalization and all that, editing stuff. Okay, question? Is there something from this essay that you want me to double check with you? You're welcome. And put this on week 12 discussions forum, because we're gonna do peer review. We have to. It's part of the class. Okay, so so that I can pair you with someone tomorrow, if not Saturday. So for the peer review workshop for the critical essay, I would like people to focus on MLA citation and in-text citation using MLA 2018 format. Yeah, because one of the SLOs, the student learning outcomes, stated on the syllabus is you know, having students be able to write a research paper, and they need to demonstrate that they can do MLA format correctly. So that's why if you miss, if you don't do the works cited page correctly, you're down a lot of points. Okay, but in general, your MLA format here is good, especially the in-text citation. This part right here, you have demonstrated here that you know how to do it, and so you're meeting the SLO stated on the syllabus, and that is precisely why it's worth more than the other essays. Now, the ethnographic essay that we're working on concurrently with this is also a biggie. The ethnographic essay is also a biggie. Okay, it's like a critical essay. That's difficult, but it could be done. And the sooner you get started on it, the better off you'll be. So for the ethnographic essay, I have not posted the task description, and that would be part of week 13 module. So I will put up the task description next week, but a student just emailed me and asked me about the requirements, the length requirements, and it is 6-page or longer. Okay, it's also research-based. So we'll be applying the works cited page here on the ethnographic essay too. But the only, one of the major difference is that the ethnographic essay can be, one of the sources can be your interviews, and it could be your few notes, observations. So when you go and participate in that culture or that subculture that you've selected, by now you should know which culture you're doing. I think you're doing the Mexican American culture, right? So a really good place to visit is the Mexican or the Filipino. Okay. Well, do you have a place, a cultural center where you can go and observe people? Like maybe Filipino area? Like we have Little Saigon, right? They should have an area where it should be for the Filipino. Okay, your workplace, all right. So you observe and you interview them, and then the research comes in when you cross-reference. when you cross-reference whatever they told you. Okay, so if your coworker claims that adobo is not a Filipino traditional dish, when in fact you kind of wonder whether it is or not, right? You know what adobo is, right? This is a very famous Filipino dish, and it has cultural ties to it. Okay, so in your research, maybe you found out its origin and its representation, or some issues with its representation. Then you can incorporate that research in your ethnographic essay, and that's why the research is also part of this final essay. This is our last essay, and it is due on May 18th. Okay, but if you turn it in a week early, that will give me time to look at it and vet whether you're writing the right essay or not. Because in the last semester, I had many students who misunderstood this assignment, and they turned in a report on an ethnic culture. It is also good for you to finish 1 week early. That's why I front loaded now. I'll let you guys know about it now, or actually we started this last week already, but and we've been working on it since then. But we only have 3 weeks left, so we don't really have that much time anyways. But in 3 week time though, you should have enough turnaround time to finish the essay. So back to my point earlier about how many of my students in the last 2 semesters I taught this class, they misunderstood the ethnographic essay because they did not read the assignments. They did not read the chapter 9 from our book, The Curious Writer. They did not look at the slides. They just wrote the essay without really looking at the task description or watching or being on Zoom. So many of them wrote a report. And this essay is not a report on the Japanese culture. It's not. Ethnographic essay is a cultural study, formal cultural study. It's not a report. And a report is easy to write. You can just go online and you watch a bunch of videos and you can just say, oh, the Japanese culture honors this tradition, and it has cherry blossom festivals every April, and it is widely popular and influential, and it has manga and all those awesome things about the Japanese culture, but it's not the ethnographic essay, so be careful with that. Those of you who are watching this Zoom recording, you are not writing a report on your culture or your subculture. Okay, that's that should be very, very clear to you by now. And if you still submit a report on your subculture, informing the reader about what people do there, you're not writing an ethnographic essay. You're just writing a report, and that will give you a 0. So that will result in a 0. So let that be kind of like a nudge in the right direction. Okay, it's not a threat. It's just a caution. Okay, and I hope that people, my students this semester can produce the right essay for our last ethnographic essay here. Okay, so follow the direction stated here. I would like you to have finished the thesis statement so that I can look at it and provide any feedback that I might have for your thesis statement. And then it's very important to check these sources out. The Google Slides document that my previous students put together from this article called Putting Ethnographic Writing in Context by Seth Kahn. And this article tells you much more about the ethnographic essay. So this slide is like the footnote version or the clip note version of that article. If you don't want to read the article, at least look at the slide. Okay? But you should read it for yourself. It's not difficult reading. And then this is a reflection on the annotated works cited. Did we already do this? I feel like we did this already, right? Have we reflected on the annotated works cited? Okay. So then that would be part of our task this week, and then the peer review workshop. A few people just posted their draft without really doing the peer review. Actually, I have a handout for the peer review, but I kind of want to inundate you with that handout. So I wanted to just lessen the workload here by just having you give your own feedback instead of following a handout and completing it. So just post, after I pair you, just look at your peers' draft and then write any kind of feedback that you deem useful for them. Okay? But I would like you to focus on MLA citation and in-text citation. So do look at whether or not they have the works cited page, and if it's formatted correctly, and if you can point out to them what's wrong with their works cited, up to the best of your ability, that is, right? So to the best of your ability, do that. Okay, so if that's what you want, then sure, just do free write-in on giving feedback so that it will become less of a workload for you guys. All right, so let's go back to week 12 required readings here. We always follow each week by the modules because it has been proven effective in terms of online progress and growth. And these required readings threads really include all the links. So if you don't read this and you just jump right to the assignments, you're gonna lose out on the links. Especially the practice final exam and the departmental final exam scoring guide. Now, we all know that our exam is going to be on May 18th, which is a Friday, which is the due date for everything. And May 18th is just around the corner. So our exam time is 9:40 a.m. And I actually have the room number, but I need to find it and post it in the announcement so that you know where to go. So it's from 9:40 to 11:40. But I would try to show up at 9:30, just to be sure, and I should be there by that time as well. Practice final exam is here again, just in case you wanna see what a example prompt look like, and I hope you have done some practice and to get better at or to be more prepared for the final exam. So that's the discussion that we talked about already. I haven't seen anybody's posting it yet. That's okay. Now this is where you would submit your final draft of the critical essay. Okay. Again, it should the link here is already set up. Let me double check. Hold on. Yeah, I set it up already. Everything should work well. Please try not to submit it this late because I will be strict with imposing the late penalty. As we are nearing the end of the semester, it's very critical that you keep up with the work. Otherwise, you just won't make it. Well, you are the one of the very few people who are actually doing so well because you consistently show up on Zoom and you get my feedback. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but I could tell you that the others are not doing so well. Okay, I had to drop the inactive people And so our number is now down to 16. And of those 16 people, many are not doing well. Many are behind. So I really don't know how they plan to catch up, if they can even catch up at all. So I'm trying my best. I'm trying to reach out to them and inviting them to set up meetings with me online. It doesn't have to be on Thursday, Tuesday, and Friday. It could be on a Saturday if they need help on a Saturday. They just have to set up a meeting with me. And if you're watching this video and you hear me say this, and if you need help and you don't know what to do, you should be on Zoom with me. As Fong has pointed out, that the Zoom meeting helped him do his homework. This is why he's been doing so well in the class. So I think next time I teach this class, I'm going to require Zoom attendance. I'm going to require it, and if people cannot make it, then they're gonna have to drop the course. Yeah, mandatory for sure. Okay, this is something new that I put up. I got this from the manual, the instructor manual of the book. I thought that I would share this with you so that you have a better understanding of the ethnographic essay. Okay. To check this out, I even included some of the important slides from the slide share that I asked you to look at already, but I know some people haven't looked at it, or they looked at it very quick or something like that. So that's why I decided to put it here as sort of like a resource, additional resource for you. Just in case you don't know what exactly the ethnographic essay is, or you haven't read the book, or you haven't looked at the slide share, so you haven't looked at Seth Kahn's article. So that's pretty much it for our week 12. So looking forward to week 13, the pre-writing and outlining materials for the ethnographic essay will be due next Sunday. There's going to be other discussion forums. You're going to be continuously reading, and you should be finishing up the memoir by now. So that by week 14, you can turn in your final slide deck for your presentation, sorry, for your memoir group project. So between now and week 14, perhaps you should galvanize and both your group members to sort of inspire them to finish reading, so you can actually get a head start on completing the final half of the total complete memoir for the second slide deck. And yes, you can build on your previous slide deck, and you just add more to it to include the second half of the book. Okay. So that's something that you need to delegate with your group members, and it should not be something that would take a lot of time unless you haven't been reading your memoir and you're behind. When I grade the whole memoir slide deck, I will look for specific evidence that you guys have finished reading the memoir. Okay. So keep that in mind. Show evidence that you have finished reading the memoir. You have talked about it. That's the main thing that I'm looking for when I grade the final check. Well, the minimum slide it's still the same as the previous slide number. So I said how many? 15. I forgot one. So let's look. I forgot my own requirements. So 15 slides, so it should be around the same. But if you have more, then that's fine, but among your group members, you should be able to come up with 15 slides. So you have 5 people in your group or 4 people in your group. You divide the math out, and you probably can the workload will be decreased, and 15 slides won't seem so heavy. Does that make sense? I hope you guys can work this out, but it is part of the Wix project, the Wix grade. I seem to have lost my ability to speak right now. But again, keep an eye out for Wix as well for the final check. This is when you design your Wix to look to have it look to make it look good, and when anybody viewing your Wix, they know how to navigate. So grading criteria are listed here, and I'll explain more as we come closer to week 15. I can talk about it next week too, or if you want me to talk about it now, I can talk about it. Design is it's when you make your Wix looks good, okay? As in you incorporate pictures, maybe you add some animation to the background of your Wix. Things like that will add to design. Friendliness, user friendliness is you have to clean up your Wix so that if there's anything that doesn't make sense, like those, you know how the template comes with the extra stuff, you know, it clutters, and those clutter up your Wix, so you should delete them if you don't use them. That's user friendliness. Accessibility is how fast the Wix load for any viewer. So if your Wix contains a lot of videos, it will be very slow to load. So stay away from videos. You don't need videos. And if you clean it up, it should load very fast. Okay, so the load-in time for accessibility. Completion is you need to have posted all of these on there. That's completion. So the second time I grade your portfolio, is harder. It's not just completion, but all of these criteria. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. I will be back on Zoom tomorrow. And if you want to ask more questions, feel free to show up again. Thank you for your understanding about Tuesday, and thanks for showing up today. Okay, and I will convert and post this Zoom recording to YouTube and share with the rest of the class, including an announcement reminding people about the major assignments coming up. Oh, good luck on your tests on calculus. How's your family? How's your wife? And is she still pregnant? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's a horrible thing to ask. Okay. Have a good night, Fong. Take care. Oh, wow. Wow. Bye. Thank you for sharing that.